Hey Dan, welcome to GAC RMHC Golf Classic. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's take a look at your posture, which looks fantastic. We can see here your spine's nice and straight and on a slight tilt. Legs come down into unlocked position, arms hang down naturally off your tilted spine, club works out to the ball. So you're achieving really good posture here in association with great balance. Looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and also take a look at your alignment. We can see your feet running in this direction here. We'll carry that out towards the fairway. And theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet at address. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. And under that philosophy, we can see that you're set up right down the center of the fairway. So that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Jordan Spieth. We'll flip Jordan over to left-handed to mirror image you. We can see obviously the setups and alignment are exactly similar. Let's go ahead and watch Jordan draw the golf club back, which he does with good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the golf club. See the club coming back directly along the red line on plane. Also, in the early stages of the golf swing, we want to also establish some good wrist hinge into play, where we're going to transition the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands to moving behind and above our hands, all the while the shaft of the club still on the red line. From here, we're going to work the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. And when we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we want to have the right arm of the club either situated on the yellow line, anywhere between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue, as we see with Jordan. We also want to have full shoulder rotation, and we want to do this about a very stable left leg. Let's go ahead and take a look at your backswing here. We can see you draw your hands back very nicely with the golf club, rotating the shoulders. Club's coming back on a pretty decent plane, just ever so slightly underneath and inside. As long as we get some wrist hinge into play, everything will recover and be just fine, so no issues right there. Let's work this golf club right up to the top, and let's see where we set the top of the backswing. We can see when we finally get at the top of the backswing, we have nice full shoulder rotation, stable left side, maintaining the posture axis of the spine. Looks really, really good. Arm geometry is in perfect position relative to your core. Club's in perfect position relative to your arms. The only thing we see here is you do set your arms in a slightly shallow position, meaning that your right arm is just slightly underneath the yellow line. From here, as we create our transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our left foot to our right, fire our knees and our hips laterally to the target, unwind the core and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to bring the golf club from where we set it within that blue-yellow V zone back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark, or actually, sorry, in left-hander case, it's a check mark position, whereby the club head right now is remaining above and behind our hands coming into the hitting zone. And this is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing, let alone also his ability to hit the ball straight because the club has returned back to plane, as already noted. This is a main criteria that needs to exist in order to produce straight golf shots. Let's go ahead and watch your transition into the ball from your slightly shallow position. We see a little over the top move there with your hands, but then you catch it there. You're fighting to keep the club head in behind your hands, so let's make sure that, well, right there the club is definitely falling and avalanching a bit out in front. So at this point in time, we can see between your lead forearm and your golf club, you have your backwards check mark, so creating power in your golf swing won't be an issue. The only problem is that your club head is not returning back to on plane as we see with Jordan Spieth on the left side of the screen. Okay? And then with Jordan, as already mentioned, in order to hit the ball straight, that club has to approach the golf ball directly from on plane, and that's exactly what we see with Jordan here. As long as the club face now squares up via having a good grip, he's going to hit the ball straight in accordance to his alignment. Okay? As we go ahead and track your club head coming into the ball, it's going to fall out in front of you now. And unfortunately, with that club coming into the ball, just ever so slightly steep over the top, that club is going to be attacking the ball slightly from outside to inside. Okay, so seeing that the downswing planes are slightly different, We can go ahead and take a look at the path of the club now. We can see with Jordan, his club is inside the ball, expanding out to make contact and moving through on a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is outside the ball, dropping down and across to make contact. So we can see the path at which that club is traveling on. So therefore, if we square the club face up to this swing path, we're going to pull the ball a little bit to the right. Okay? If we release the club relative to the path, not only will we pull it, but we'll hit a pull draw or pull hook, depending on how much left or right spin we put on the ball. If we leave the club face a little bit open, we can block the ball a little bit left of where we're swinging. That will impart a little bit of right to left movement on the golf shot, and will produce a nice soft fade, and that shot will turn out. If we leave the club face too open to the path, incredibly, we can block the ball even further left of where we're swinging. At that point in time, the club face was too open. We're imparting way too much right to left spin, and we're going to hit some form of a block slice. So the end result of your golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. Because the club is attacking the ball from outside, striking the ball and moving to the inside, very simply put, that club or ball will follow the red arrows. If it stays too open through impact the club face, then it follows blue, and if we time it properly, it'll follow yellow, and everything will turn out. And obviously, that's the golf shot you see. You see a nice soft power fade when you hit the ball well. Through impact here, I just want to pay attention to your club face and see what your club face did. Looked like your club face squared up and definitely released through the ball, and yeah, that ball is definitely heading to the right, and it's probably going to stay there in the assumption that club face squared up. Okay, you move yourself through to a really good finish. Looks great. Overall, some really nice athletic characteristics with your golf swing. Your hands work well. They come back. They fire through. Your core works well. You coil. You uncoil. You've got great footwork, allowing you to get through to a good finish. You've got a great setup. Your posture, balance, alignment, superb. Your golf game has a lot of potential, whereby you could produce really nice straight golf shots and consistency if you just get rid of this slightly over the top move right here, causing the club to come into the ball a little steep and a little bit from out to in. And at that point in time, you need to associate a slightly open club face in order to hit a nice power fade so the ball can find its intended target. So again, square it up, it's going right. Leave it too open, going left, time it properly, you will find your intended target. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you want to ever fine-tune any of this, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a little program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to reach out. Be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, hope you had a fabulous day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video.